Hi there, welcome back to another Delphox Cards video. If you watched the Receiver 1 book, we're moving on to Receiver 2. And so gonna cook through my lesser receivers in my opinion, but like I still like them. I don't know how to explain that, but they're not like top of my list, but I can't just not have their cards. So I'm gonna do this, and then actually I'm gonna zoom over here to my tight ends book. A little bit more guys that I like in there. So we'll kind of cook through this one at a decent rate, and then we'll move on. So we start here with Amari Cooper. Coop. We get into a guy like AJ Green. Some cool ones in here. AJ Green cards. Irvin, Michael Irvin. I didn't grow up during his era. He's a beast. I don't love him. Mixing in green, that's a cool one. I don't like love him or anything. I just this binder, man, is just not cooperating. Here's a bunch of his older stuff. Chris Carter. More Chris Carter. Got some Julian Edelman cards, some really cool ones. Just a really good receiver. Brandon Marshall. Again, I don't really have like a super close connection with any of these players. But they're good players, and I kind of want my son someday to be able to look back on these. R.I.P. Demarius, good receiver for the Broncos. I did like Deshaun Jackson for a spell. He was cool, but again, never like a big my guy. Him with the Redskins and the Eagles and some fun ones there. I got a lot of Deshaun Jackson, but I like Deshaun Jackson. Just he's not enough to put into the next row. Wes Welker, a lot of fond memories watching him over the years. Wes all the way back when he was a Dolphin. And then there he is helping Manning set a record. No, I do like Joe Horn. Really like Joe Horn, so I don't want to downplay that. That's a dude that I like. I like Aaron Brooks. I like Joe Horn. He just was always on teams that I enjoyed back then. Also liked Roddy White. Just a really, I think, underrated player, Roddy. Tell me this is not the best uniform in NFL history. That or the powder blues, but those are so fire. Love those. I got a lot of Roddy. I like Roddy. Roddy and Joe Horn is kind of the first point here where I'm like, yep, really like those players. I got some Jimmy Smith. Again, not a huge attachment to Jimmy. I like Fred Taylor, but good player nonetheless. Some really fun old cards here. Gotta readjust my grip a little. Colston played with Breeze, and he was a very solid receiver, and just kind of fun to remember how good he was. So I think these guys in this binder, well, some of them are legends like Irvin, but some of these guys are forgotten, like Colston, and here you got like a Rod Smith. Just a really good receiver. Those classics, Donruss Classics are cool. And McCaffrey, not as much forgotten because of his son, though. Mike Williams still playing. I had high hopes for him. I'm losing them. I'm losing the high hopes, but some Thielen, the old Minnesota standby, and he's okay on the Panthers. I wouldn't say good even, but some Troy Brown. I just picked up some of his cards at Mojo's. Percy Harvin, Scary Terry. Percy Harvin was so good. Miles Austin, I think that is in the middle. Yep. Hushmanzada, loved Hushmanzada. Andre Reed, Tyler Boyd. I really like Braylon Edwards. Could get more of his cards. Santana Moss, good player. Deion Branch, another good Patriot. Muhsin Muhammad. I have an absurd amount of Muhsin Muhammad cards for how I feel about him. Santonio Holmes. Marty Booker. There he is, old Marty Booker. Eric Decker, Mike Crabtree. That's sorry receiver. Braylon Edwards again should be with the other one. Oops, Derek Mason. Fred Belitkoff. There's a legend. A couple guys that are younger that I don't have as many cards of. See how they turn out. Largent, obviously, a legend. Wayne Corbett. Keyshawn. A lot of Keyshawn Johnson for several of his teams. Chris Olave, little Tank, little Amon-Ra, Peerless Price. Love Peerless Price. Garrett Wilson. So now we're getting to some guys that I think have some bright futures. CD. I don't have a whole lot of care to put them in my front book yet, but they do have a potential to be studs. Chris Godwin card is really cool there. Rashee Rice. Love Antoine Randall. If you play NFL Street, you know. And then you got my guy Drake. I could see him moving up in the years to come. But all right, I am gonna just go right into this next book. So, because this is gonna take a while for me to shut. So I'm gonna set this down here. And hop right into the tight end book. Square in. It's only 6 minutes in. That's a little quicker. This will be quick too. But I definitely have some strong feelings towards some tight ends as far as if I like them. This really cool select insert. Tony G. He's my GOAT. I just read Gronk is the GOAT. Tony G's the GOAT to me. I won't hear it another way. Followed by the next chief. Kelsey. Now this is where I could be talked out of it. Again, best uniforms. You could insert Gronk here, but I think Kelsey's that good. First of all, that card is awesome. But I love Antonio Gates. Now he's not my GOAT, but he was awesome. I don't want to make an outrageous statement like he's, top. He could be a top 5 tight end all time. He was so good and just so much fun to watch. And him and LT were like aura incarnate. So yeah, we got some Gronk. It's like one of my favorite cards I own. Love that card. And yeah, you want to make the case Gronk is a GOAT. I could see it. I just don't see him better than Tony G. He was a unit though. Can't talk about best tight ends without this man. He used to really be high on Darren Waller, and now I'm to the point where like I saw his jersey at Ross in Green Bay, and $30 or so, and I was like, nah. So he's in this book, but he was Rada. I love Vernon Davis. I would get this man's jersey. This is my guy, like that Roy Williams situation where I just really like Vernon. I remember distinctly being on the couch and watching him be drafted after we picked A.J. Hawk. And A.J. Hawk worked out, and he was really good, and I'm glad we picked him, but I was so bummed that we didn't get my man Vernon. This guy, I just always liked him as a player. Same, we got my guy from the Hawkeyes. I don't know why he's in this book, actually. He should be in my Hawkeye book, but Kittle. And then my boy Algie. Jeremy Shockey, good memories of him. I remember watching him, though, like give the finger on live TV. Dad, what's he doing? Jason Witten. Dallas Clark. I don't know why Witten's off here. Dallas Clark was so much fun to watch. Another Hawkeye. I don't know why I have him in here. So I have a Wisconsin Badger, Iowa Hawkeye book. Another guy like Clark, but Chris Cooley, really fun to watch for me as a kid. Heath, Greg Olson. I'm so hopeful for you, Kyle Pitts. I want you to do so well. Come on, Kirk, make it happen. Komet, Schultz, Knox, Andrews. Yeah. You Juszczyk. Got a friend, his wife's maiden name is Jussick, and it's spelled, I think, the same way, or maybe it's close. I don't know. He watches every once in a while. Shout out Tyler. And then Todd Heap. And there you have it. So, yeah, nice little 10-minute video here of some really fun tight ends and some interesting names in the receiver book. So, again, I really appreciate anybody who watches, and God bless and have a good one.